Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got something awesome for y'all today. We are going to be doing a build on one of the coolest games out right now, Pragmata. It's awesome, great story, great characters, and really good gameplay. I think the gameplay system is something that stood out to me when I played the demo, and I knew it would be very fun. And after playing a lot of the game, almost finished the game here, I'm near the end now. I love it. I love the gameplay system. And my favorite style is hacking. I love hacking. Yeah, the gunplay is great, but the hacking is so cool. It's so unique. And I think that's what makes Pragmata's gameplay so good. So, I've done a hacking build. I focused on hacking. I've made some mistakes. I've learned a lot of things. So now I'm ready to show y'all what the most fun hacking build is, at least in my opinion. Okay, so the first section of the video is going to be about the firmware updater. This is where you level up your skills, and the skills are suit, primary unit, and hacking. And as you can see, we've maxed hacking. That is the skill that is going to be the main skill in this build. Hacking. So Diana gets most of the upgrade components. Upgrade components are little things you can find across the game and by doing training sims, so they're not that difficult to find. But the way you invest them is going to make your game either very fun or not fun, or very easy or very hard. So for me, I didn't invest them perfectly, but I invested them well enough, I would say. So you want to max hacking, then you want to max suit, because health is important in this game, and there is a mod that reduces health but increases hacking and primary unit damage. So I should have just maxed suit instead of putting so many points in primary unit. That was my mistake, but you can learn from my mistake and max suit and then put the rest of the points in primary unit. So in order to max it, I have to now do a lot of training sims, but you don't have to. So once you max hacking and suit, your skills are done. The rest of the skills are just icing on the cake. So yeah, in summary, max hacking, max suit, put the rest of the points in primary unit. As you increase shelter levels, again, shelter levels are the way you increase your max skill cap. And every time you increase your shelter level, put the points in hacking, then put the rest in suit. So the unit printer is the next thing we're going to go over. The unit printer uses Luna filament, which you can pick up throughout the game, everywhere, and pure lunum, which is a bit more rare than the Luna filament, but it is also not too difficult to find. Just as long as you explore, do training sims, all that. So it uses those resources to upgrade your weapons, your hacking, your abilities, your attachments. So we're going to go over all the weapons, hacking, abilities, attachments you need for this build. So first up is Sticky Bombs. Sticky Bombs is a tactical unit that fires sticky bombs that adhere to targets. Basically stick on them. Attached bombs temporarily shrink the hacking matrix and deal damage on explosion. It explodes once you complete the hack. Effects can stack, so if you do it like 2 times, it'll stack 2 times, 3 times, it'll stack 3 times, you know what I mean? It goes on and on. So level 7 is a really good one. Hacking matrix shrink time. So basically, how fast the hacking matrix shrinks, it increases that speed. It increases that speed by a big margin. And a tip that I have for y'all is that don't move your hacking cursor when you're using this, because it can happen so fast that you might accidentally move it and hit the green button, the green little thing you see on the screen there, and that will activate the hack, which would be pretty bad because then you've done little damage. You want to go through all the nodes and then hit the green button like you just saw there on screen. So that's a little piece of advice I have for y'all. Don't move your cursor when you use the sticky bomb, especially at level 7, because it happens very fast. I've done it a few times. So, very good weapon to have. Will help you against all those pesky opponents that have these error nodes and really large hacking matrices. I love this one gun, so max it immediately. Next gun up is the code generator. You get the code generator and the hacking minds gun through Cabin's bingo board, so keep an eye out for that and use those cabin coins tactically, so that, you know, where you don't have to max out every board before you move on to the next one. Just do enough to get the weapons and then move on to the next board to get the next weapon. That's what I did. So code generator is a tactical unit that increases hacking damage. Hitting a target spawns light blue open nodes that deal extra damage. Also, error nodes are temporarily disabled. So this is, to me, an upgrade of sticky bombs, because it does more damage, gets rid of the error nodes, and also it gives you an extra feature, which is the light blue open nodes, which really increase the damage that you do. And you can see that on screen, and you can compare it to the sticky bomb, which does way less damage than Code Generator. The only downside is Code Generator has less charges than the sticky bomb at max level, so you have to be more, cautious with its use. You have to ration it more. So only use it against those big pesky opponents that have a large hacking matrix, that a lot of error nodes, and that make it very difficult to hack. But it is very powerful. When you use it and then you complete the hack, it does a hell of a lot of damage, as you can see here. And look, boom, 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 boom. It's incredible. So you can really hurt people with it. Then, the next gun you unlock in the next bingo board is Hacking Mines. Hacking Mines is a tactical unit that deploys mines that can be infused with hacking nodes. Placing additional mines links them together, expanding their range. Effects vary based on conditions of detonation. I never understood that line. At least, I haven't noticed any variation, really. Maybe someone who's pays more attention to those little details can tell me why. But for me, it's been working really well in all situations. So, the upgrades improve it a lot. I like the level 6 upgrade the most because it gives you a little bit of stagger, which is great when the mine hits. So it gives you a little bit of space to reposition, to create some distance between you and your opponents. And of course, having a lot of different hacking nodes and then you using it on the mine is so powerful because everyone it hits gets hit by all those hacking nodes you put in the mine. And then if you put multiple mines, oh man, you can really get some crazy damage and effects going on for a huge group of enemies. That's why I would suggest using the decoy generator as your other gun. You're in the other slot, I think the bottom slot, because max decoy generator really helps you distract the opponent so they don't interrupt you when you're doing your hacking mines, and also they kind of clump together as you can see on the screen here. So the hacking mines will for sure hit all of them. There won't be any question of it missing anybody. So it's really good. So decoy gen, I would max that as well alongside hacking mines. You should have enough Luna filament to max decoy gen quite quickly. So you can do that first before you do hacking mines, or if you have so much, you can just do both. Because I made the mistake of leveling stasis net, which was not really good for this build. But you live and you learn. So that's it for the guns. Sticky bombs, then code generator, then hacking mines. That's all you need for the guns. So then hacking. So we have a lot of hacking nodes, but you don't need all of them, and you don't need to max all of them, at least initially. So when you get decode, that's your first hacking node. I would max it. It gives you a good amount of damage early game. It's just nice in the early game, I would say. A good way to damage opponents and get them out of there before they can kill you. Because in the early game, your health isn't the best. And you're still learning the ropes, you're still learning the game, so you're more likely to die. So having a decode is helpful. This is my favorite hack, multi-hack. A hacking node that links multiple opponents together, opening multiple opponents, open time is extended, although the damage is reduced to the affected target. So the initial, I think, target, yeah, it does full damage, but I think to the other targets, it does less damage. You can see it goes from 99 to 49 here. If you saw the numbers popping up on screen, the little animation here, 99 to 49, so 50 less damage. But damage is still damage, and it leaves them open and extends the open duration, which is great. So I love multi-hack, and don't forget, any hacking node that you pass through before you use multi-hack, and you hit that little green thing, you finish the hack, that other hacking node like decode, confuse, freeze, expose, heat, whatever, will also spread to the other opponents. So it is a really, really good hack. So I would max it because it increases the amount of targets that it hits. So absolutely max this the moment you get this. Freeze, it's good, but for me, I never really used it that much. I generally used a decoy gun if I had to, or I would just run around dodging everything. For me, freeze wasn't that important because I think the next hack is a lot better. Confuse, because a hacking node that disrupts enemy visual sensors causing friendly fire. So if you have a bunch of the confuse, you can use it to really increase the enemy damage. But I just use one node, and it's really, really good because it gives you space because they're attacking each other, and also now they're hurting each other. As you see in the screen, if you hit confuse and multi-hack, it's so good. I mean, the screen just uses one. Just confused. But if you use multi-hack on top of it, my god, when you're fighting a bunch of opponents, they're all going to be attacking each other, giving you plenty of time to put down some hacking mines, to heal up a little bit, to reposition. So this is just a very, very good one. That's why I like it more than freeze, because freeze just stuns people. Confuse actually turns your opponent's strength against them. So that's why I like it more. Expose is a very good one, I would say. You can max this. I mean, I wouldn't max it, but I think having 1 point in it is good enough because it gives you a lot of damage. Really good, I would say. But again, depending on how fast you're going through the main story, because if you're just going through it very slowly, you can probably afford to max expose before you get heat, right? But if you're not, then I wouldn't do it, because a lot of this is based on your pacing. But expose is very nice because it makes the next hack deal critical damage. Ammo easy to stagger the target. Again, stagger is very nice. Pushes the opponent back, gives you some space and time, which is always important for a hacking build, because hacking builds, their biggest weakness is if someone's able to get on top of you and interrupt you from hacking, or able to move around you so that you can't target them consistently. You keep getting interrupted, you know what I mean? So you want things to slow down, to stun maybe, or to confuse. Those are always good. Then you have heat, which is, I think, my second favorite hack, I would say, because it's a hacking though that makes enemies overheat more easily. When active, weapons build the heat gauge up faster. Repeated use of the same enemy reduces effectiveness, blah blah blah, you know what it is. So so you can, as you can see on the screen, when you heat the opponent up high enough, they will get stunned, and then you can walk up to them and use left click if you're on keyboard or mouse, and then have this cool animation where you put the gun to their face or to their weak spot or whatever, and then pull the trigger, and there's this explosion, a lot of damage, and also it does a bit of AoE damage. So if there's any other enemies around that enemy that you're doing it to, they will also take damage and they'll be stunned or pushed down, sometimes even knocked down, you know, depending on the enemy. So very, very useful one. Max it the moment you get it. Drain, it's cool, but honestly, by the time I got Drain, I had got good enough where I was avoiding enemy attacks, and I'm sure y'all will be good enough too to avoid enemy attacks. So I don't think it's as useful. And also, I used those health packs you get in the game, and by this point I had a lot of them, so didn't really need Drain. So I didn't really max it initially when I got it. Chain's also nice because it's a hacking node that manipulates enemy processes. Chaining the hacking matrix, it's one of those ones where if you keep using it, it'll increase damage, right? Like passing through multiple nodes of the same type strengthens its effect, unlike the other ones where it weakens it. So yeah, this is a good one, but again, you don't need to max it because you're going to be using multi-hack, confuse, and heat for the most part. Then, of course, the one we're going to use is Combust mode. That's the hacking mode we're going to be using. Open nodes turn into heat nodes when hacking enemies that are exposed. Gunfire passing through heat nodes boosts heat gauge. Build up, making it easier to overheat enemies. So yeah, you can overheat people very fast with this. So I would suggest you use Combust mode. So that's it for hacking. Let's move on to abilities. Abilities, I would say critical shot's a very nice one. When an enemy health is low, a critical shot node may appear. Passing through it during a hack will down enemies, letting you press left click to perform a point blank shot, which usually kills them. Object scan and bot scan, I think, for every single build is very good, because bot scan reveals enemy weak points. Object scan reveals objects like lunar filament, upgrade components, chests, things like that. That's useful because, you know, a lot of the times I do miss things. I'm not great at looking for things in games or in real life. Now, auto hacking is like, it's nice, but it does take away from your ultimate ability because it takes that little bar away. You know, it uses a bit of the ultimate ability bar. So I don't use it that often. And also I just forget to use it because I have so much fun just doing the hacking manually that I just forget to do auto hacking. So if you're like me, you don't need to max this at all. But if you want to incorporate some auto hacking into your hacking toolkit, you can max it. It's nice. It's very quick. It's much faster than you could be. So if you want to do that, you can. So for attachments, you're going to be investing a lot of points in here because, you know, your hacking gauge, deletion protocol, I think it's overload protocol before a certain upgrade in the game. Again, I'm going to keep it vague to avoid spoilers. Node slot, mod slot. So the way I would do it is node slot is very important. It expands Diana's abilities by adding extra slots for hacking nodes in the hacking matrix, because that's how you equip these hacks. Otherwise, you can only equip one. If you max this, now you can equip 3, which is great. So max this first, and then mod slots, again, very important. You need mod slots in order to maximize the effectiveness of your hacking build. This I would level as you get the mod slots. As you get the mods, again, as long as you're smart with your lunar filaments, you'll be perfectly fine. You can level this alongside the mods you get. So if you get a mod that you like, you can just upgrade this and put that mod in. Then hacking gauge and deletion protocol. I would max hacking gauge over deletion protocol because yes, this deletion protocol increases the damage and the open duration and the stun time, but hacking gauge is the one that allows you to use it frequently. So it increases the hacking gauge buildup from completed hacks. So at max level, it triples it, based on the 3 arrows that I see there. So node slot, mod slot as you unlock mods, then hacking gauge, then deletion protocol. That's how I would do it. So yeah, that's it for the unit printer section. Okay, so now we're going to talk about everyone's second favorite robot, Cabin. Cabin Stamp Club. That is important. This is how we're going to do it. So you want to get bingo, and you want to get a triple bingo. But don't max it out. Not yet. I made the mistake. Then you want to get bingo again. Now, if you want Drone Hive, you can get it, but you can just take one bingo and keep it pushing, because that's all we need for Expose, which, like I said, is a good hack. And then Specialist. This is where you want to save it up, you know what I'm saying? You want to go bingo here, and you want to get triple bingo. See, this is where I started figuring out that I can skip boards. It took me a little bit to figure out I can skip stamp bingo boards. So, get the triple bingo to get code generator. Then, you want to go here to director. You want to get bingo immediately. Then you want to get triple bingo, which will give you hacking minds. And that way, you can get these things as fast as possible. So that would be my advice when it comes to playing bingo. Never thought I would say that, but here we are. And okay, so here's the weapon loadout, how he's gonna look. So you go to weapon loadout, equip these hacks, that's how it's gonna look. Here, code generator, hacking minds. Now, when it comes to primary unit, it's important. You can use the grip gun DS. It does a lot of damage. But you want to use pulse carbine. Easy to use, capable of fully automatic fire. This rifle prioritizes speed over power. And here's the important part. Hitting enemy weak points will slightly increase heat buildup. So you will use this gun, even though it hits way less, like harder. Like this is 12 damage, this is 60 damage. Stagger rate is 14, 84, right? Rate of fire is, I think, faster, recoils more. But the biggest thing is it will increase heat. So when you've done hacking, you can shoot the enemy weak spots a little bit to increase heat even more. Very awesome. So use pulse carbine, don't use grip gun. Outside of that, take what you want. Oh, I would say take decoy generator. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is check out the mods. So, a lot of mods. It can seem very overwhelming, but luckily we're only really focusing on a few mods because we're only doing hacking. We're not doing a mixed build. We're not doing guns. We're just doing hacking. So these are the mods that you really want. Equipped. Relay Amplifier. Increases hacking range by 30%. Very helpful because as a hacker, you want to stay at range. This helps you do that. Performance Boost. Increases hacking node duration by 20%. Again, really, really good because it allows you more leeway. You know, gives you more time to hack so you don't feel that much pressure. Recursive Learning increases hacking gauge buildup by 15% when successfully completing a hack. This is super strong. This way you're able to build up your ultimate ability super fast. You can even use auto hacking more frequently because of this, because you can afford to spend more hacking gauge points. Next, Untapped Potential. For 15 seconds, hacking node usage increases attack power by 10% and damage taken is reduced by 10%. Very good. I mean, the attack power is like, you know, we're not really attacking with our gun too much. We're just using it to build heat. But the damage taken is reduced by 10%. That is really good. That's very helpful. The next one is Cursed. This is the one I was mentioning earlier, that I mentioned earlier. Increases weapon and hacking damage by 20%, but reduces HP by 50%. This is really, really good. It'll probably be even better for y'all because y'all will invest more points in the suit than I did. So yes, please use this one. This is super strong. 20% increase in weapon and hacking damage. But the one that we're really happy about is the hacking damage increase. Then, Heat Transfer. Enemy heat gauges fill 10% faster, causing enemies to be down more quickly. Again, because this build is focused on heat, having a mod that helps us build heat quicker, that is awesome. So yeah, that is all the mods that you need. Pretty simple, right? Alright, so that's it. That's the guide. Now I'm going to show you all some gameplay so you can see how it works in practice. And it will help you give you a visual on how all these things work together to create a really fun, powerful hacking build. Alright everyone, have fun gaming. See y'all on the next build.
Take this!
Be careful!